busy market?
Okay, basically, a lot of people work on two concepts. The first is the first moment of truth. From afar, from 50 feet away, and while they're drawing closer to you, the way you present your product, it should be as appetizing as possible. So for me, what works is that I grill it in front. I've got all the flames there. Thank God I've got a fume hood tonight, RJ. I'm going to lessen the smoke here, but the smoke is part of the fun here in Mercato. If there's no smoke, that means there aren't too many people in the market. And basically, you just have to like, for most of the guys here, we've seen strippers. Imagine your food as a stripper. Basically, from afar, from any angle, they should simply try to trick the person into getting them.
Yeah. Mrs. Cuenco, did you hear that over here? Good answer, no? Good answer if you did hear that now. So, ladies and gentlemen, are there other questions here as well? Very interesting that you're able to pick up from the entrepreneurs right now. Maybe the other question you want to ask EJ is, the one kanina, did you come up with a business plan to start this off, EJ? Or did you have any type of plan when you started off this one?
Oh, when I started this, what I knew is that I just wanted to sell burgers the way I wanted to sell it. It didn't matter to me whether I'd make money or after a few months, I'd be going on to my next business concept. But I was just hell-bent on sharing people how I like to eat my burger. That's it. No business plan.
And then now, how were you able to, let's say, grow the business from, let's say, just here in Mercato to the other night markets? How did the capital go? Did you just pinapaikot mo na yung pera mo? Did you have to borrow from the outside?
Yeah, for me, Mercato Central was a big blessing. I was very stingy with my funds. I made sure that whatever money Big Bob's has, I don't use it for my own personal gimmicks or I don't use it for my personal gasoline. I just separate everything, and it's a good thing sales came in and the timing was right when other markets opened, when the midnight Mercato opened, when Soderno opened. It was just right that I had enough funds to open up in those new markets.
Do you recommend to people to borrow money as an entrepreneur, especially for these small businesses, or do you, as much as possible, try to keep it within the family?
If you need to borrow money, make sure you borrow from family or from people who wouldn't ask the money from you in a snap. Because definitely you may make all your plans and you may make a 3-month plan or a 3-year plan, and after that time you still don't have the money. You still don't have enough money to give back to the person. So make sure it's somebody who wouldn't try to get the money from you immediately.
And when it comes to things like salary, for example, you own the business. Tell us, do you give yourself a salary as well to earn? So what do you have, or do you keep it separate from that one? Do you just get the dividends from what you do? How do you go about this one?
Yeah, for me, I simply give myself an allowance, and the allowance is a percentage of the sales. And basically, if sales is good, my staff would get a lot more money, a lot more bonuses, and then I'd be getting the same bonuses now. So you simply have to be very stingy with your money.
Ilocano ka ba? Hindi na.
No, I'm actually the opposite. I'm Kapampangan.
Yes, ma'am.
EJ, did you also come from the corporate world?
Yes, I used to be my first job was I was a business development manager for Bosch
And you're now with Big Bob's full time.
Yes.
Did you have a plan B just in case? Or when you were doing it, sige, go na?
Okay, my plan B was simply to help out my dad. My dad has a lot of contacts as far as franchising is concerned.
Was that idea tugging at you if this doesn't work, plan B, plan B? Or what do you suggest? Just go for your plan A or have a little insurance?
For me, if you're still single, you don't have family, just go on with your plan A as long as you can fund it. The moment you can't fund it anymore, go and stick with your plan B.
Do you have any more questions for EJ? I'm sure. Yeah, please, come on down.
I just wanted to know, did you partner up with a chef in order to come up with your unique burgers, or you invented it yourself?
No, the thing is, I invented it on my own. I really like to eat. I'm the type of person wherein if my lunch isn't good, I'm cranky the whole day. So I really love food. So I had a lot of free time back then. So I had time to come up with a good recipe for a burger.
Barik, you have the question also? Smiling muna si Barik dyan. No, okay. Actually, I also want to add to what EJ said. No, many of the very successful food entrepreneurs over here weren't chefs. One of the biggest one, admittedly for all of us over here, is Manang's Chicken. And Manang's Chicken, that was literally Manang's Chicken. Yung yaya sa bahay, gumagawa ng chicken, sabi nila, masarap siyang gumawa ng chicken. So they put up a booth here in Mercado. Their first booth was here in Mercado. And they said that, because over here, you can book for 8 days. 8 days straight. And they didn't make the money the first 8 days. And that's where you can tell the mettle of the entrepreneur. If they quit after the first 8 days, because obviously, sometimes the first 8 days are not going to be your best sales. That's the first time people are going to see the market. That's the first time they're going to see you. So they might just pass you by the first time. Usually it's by the third time that they will stop by and drop and get from your place. And Manang's just kept on staying whatever happened. Interesting thing after this one, Manang started out with a stall over here. Now they have 10 branches around the country. Manang is now living in the Bahamas, enjoying a very fun life. No, but aside from that one, but more importantly, when we asked, in fact, the funnier thing here is that the owner, si Jill, her sister, who was actually a professional chef in the States, had to fly home because the business was so successful that they need somebody to manage kitchen operations to maintain the quality of the food. And she had to come over here to do that one. So, we're saying number one is even Mary Moo. Mary Moo Ice Cream, the guy who runs it, Kelvin Ngo, his family actually is in the watch business. They sell luxury watches. And he just came home one day with an ice cream maker. That was basically, he came home with an ice cream maker. But this guy, every week, bagong flavor yan. If he's not in the office, all he's thinking about is what's the new ice cream flavor that I can come up with. And many of them, when they do these businesses, what we've noticed also from them is they take the money, they never borrow from the bank. The very first ones, they never borrow from the bank. When they grew Manang's Chicken, sabi niya, she borrowed from her parents and sabi nila, 5 years ha! Huwag niyo ipabawi pero for 5 years. At hanggang dividends lang kayo. Sabi niya sa magulang niya. So, these are the many tricks and trades of the entrepreneurs. Sometimes, trying not to borrow first from the outside so you can conserve your capital so that you can keep on turning it around. Any more questions for EJ over here? Okay, questions, guys? Oh, good. So you're having a big bout later on, Mike, no? Yeah. Great job. Okay, round of applause, please, for Mr. EJ Cuenco of Big Bob's Burgers.